Alrighty, so wave 3 of the Cyberverse guys here come with, the Cyberverse Legion comes with the last 3 of the members for Abominus. You've got Blight, which is the updated version of Blot, Cutthroat, or Windrazor, who is the updated version of Cutthroat, and Rippersnapper, who is the updated version of, indeed, Rippersnapper. Rippersnapper's got a really cool kind of Godzilla-esque look to him. From the side, he's a little weaker than I expected. He's a little hollow in the middle than I expected from early pictures, but he's got a cool kind of Godzilla-esque lizard look to him, which is kind of cool, and I like his colors. Blight's just kind of also, kaiju-esque, but giant monster, rawr, finny head. But again, cool colors, the purple and blue and yellow, and just a neat little mold there. Ball jointed shoulders and legs here. You can see his robot mode fist under here. And then Windrazor is just a big vulture-y bird. Really cool. You can pose his wings however you want. Not however you want, I guess, but there's a ball joint here and a ball joint here. It'll give you those wings. You can see his robot mode hands, but again, we're Cyberverse figures here, so yeah. They each come with these weapons. Blight comes with a hammer. And then these two guys come with a crossbow, I believe. Is that right? Yeah, because Hun-Gurrr has the only... Right, okay. So that's correct. Those are their weapons. Now, transform him. We'll start off with Cutthroat, because Cutthroat's kind of the easiest. You pushed his bird head down into his chest, which pops up his robot head back here. And then you just flip that over. Bring his feet down. Straighten up the feet like this. And then bring his arms forward and down. And then just kind of fold the wings rotate right here. You just fold them up. And there he is, and flip his tail up right there. And there he is in robot mode. He can hold his little crossbow, electro gun, whatever they're calling it. Rippersnapper. You can kind of see how he comes together. Flip his hands up here. Actually, not up here yet. Unplug this from this. Flip that up. Split his head in half here. And rotate, flip the head up like that. And like that. And then rotate these around to become his feet. Just like that. They'll click into place. And then this whole piece comes up right here and around and plugs in up here. The arms come down. You can see there's his hand. There's no elbow joint on him, unfortunately. But his hands are on the back of his monster feet. And then flip his head back up like that. And there's Rippersnapper in robot mode. And he also is very depth charge-esque. They really like that aesthetic. Like Dreadwing and both versions of Dreadwing and this guy have that very depth chargey face and kind of bluey and yellow colors on him. Kind of a teal blue. He looks, I think, the most like depth charge out of all of them. But yeah, they really dig that for some reason. Give him his weapon. And then Blight, you flip his head all the way around back to here like this. And then you rotate these whole pieces in like that. His monster arms come down and flip up to form his feet. Rotate them like that. Flip his hands out. Again, no elbow joints on that. Flip this forward. Flip his head up. Flip it back up into place. And there's Blight. And he has his hammer. So, there are the 3 new Terrorcons that join the other 2. And since we've already seen Abominus and Hun-Gurrr and Twinstrike in the other set. So let's go ahead and show off these guys. Now, I thought, if you remember, I did some leg and feet modes for Twinstrike. You can do the same with Cutthroat, but unfortunately, as I suspected, these 2 guys clip on. You can see their clips hiding back here behind their heads. They actually clip onto these pegs here on the foot. They don't peg into the legs at all, and they don't have any visible pegs anywhere on them. I have been trying to find some way to attach them up here so you can scramble city, and I just haven't been able to do it. You can attach these guys due to the pegs down here, and I've gotten some decent leg modes out of these guys, but there just has not been a way that I found, aside from just kind of folding them into vaguely arm shakes and hanging them off the arms up here to make these guys attach as arms. Now, we haven't seen the official instructions for this. None of the individual figures have any reference to the fact that they can combine, which is weird to me, but apparently they're going to release them all in a gift set at Target later on down the line, and maybe they're saving it for that, so you can get the official instructions there. But I've learned how to combine them just using the picture we have seen of him, the little grayscale version in the Target promo. So here's these two guys. Windrazor. Just flip his head up, pull his bird head back out, bring it down like that. It does actually peg in, not solidly, but it snaps into place right there. Bring that up, bring his feet up, and you can see he's got the same two pegs inside his feet here that Twinstrike does on his legs. So you bring those around, and then the wings are pretty much left to however you like to pose them. I generally just kind of fold them up, back and around like this. I leave this arm on the back, fold this one kind of back around, and then you've got his arm like that with the bird head as his hand. And you just plug those in up here on those peg holes just like you do with Twinstrike. And there's his upper body. These guys, for Rippersnapper, like I said, these going to go on the front of the legs because you're going to be clipping those in. You want to make sure you flip his head forward. It flips like this. Every time you try to flip it back, it doesn't work that way, and you just pop the head off this. It just snaps off. So you flip his head forward. You bring his legs together like this, and then you fold these back, pull his legs back around to the back of his body, and thanks to the way the ball joints are, you get them just like that, right there against the back of his legs. And that technically is supposed to be his leg mode. I find you could, since this clips on and it has this detail right here, I think it looks like a better foot if you bring this panel down a little bit and tuck it in back there. I think it looks like a more solid foot. Bring that down and then bring these out as toes to make his leg look like that. But the official instructions do have this all the way up here with this little skinny foot. And even the official picture we've seen even has these tucked up for this kind of weak foot, but it does work as a foot. And then you basically, like, since this can come forward, you pull this back a little bit so you've got room to get in there. You slide the dragon head in here, and then you clip it right onto that port, just like that. And there's leg one. And very similar here with Blight. Blight actually pegs together a lot easier in leg mode because he's got some pegs specifically for the job. So you fold his head in and pull this down because the dragon head's going to go right here. These are going to be his feet. And just like on Rippersnapper, you bring his arms around the back. But then you bring his head down, and on either side of his head, there's a little peg right here. There's a little bar across here that actually, when you bring the legs down, it pegs in right here on the leg. So you peg that on, straighten the leg out. There we go. Peg that on like that. And there is his leg mode. And you basically you get the dragon head in here, clip it on, and once you get that done, you can push this back up as much as you want, or as much as it'll go, and then you can kind of fold these around behind him. Wasn't clipped on all the way. Oh, come on. But yeah, you basically clip this onto the front of the leg, push that up, and there is Abominus. And like I said, there's all kinds of cosmetic little details you can change on this to suit your individual preferences. Like I said, I like to bring these down as like bigger toes on his foot. Like that. This is how the official picture has shown him. Come on. There we go. Yeah. Usually he's not this fiddly. Yeah, so there he is. Yeah, there's half of him because so that's just how I roll. Hold on a second. There you go. There he is all together. Now, like I said, I like to fold these down and bring this down to just make that look like a bigger foot. It looks more like a complete foot. A little asymmetrical because he doesn't have any way of doing anything like that. But even if you flip these up, I like having that as a foot. I just think it looks more complete that way, having that piece down. I've also seen somebody fold these up. I'll show you in a minute once I get through the weapon. Now, here are the 5 weapons that come with him. And if you take this gun, peg the hammer into it, and then on each side you can peg this crossbow in here like this, and then this one has a peg this one in here like this, and then just the extra hammer I like to peg back here. You can give him like a little double axe with the 5 weapons that come with him, and that's kind of cool. He's got a weapon. If you want, and I don't know if that's official or not. Again, we've seen no combining instructions. You can also, if you so wish, you can steal the, if you get the whole wave, steal the extra chainsaw gun from Soundwave or any one of the other Cyberverse figures that comes with it. Pull this off of here. Pull this off of here, and then you can make an entirely separate second axe, which you can kind of bring his Twinstrike head under here, underneath his hand, and he can hold over here as well. So you can have him dual wield if you wish. But really, I kind of like just using the 5 weapons that come with him and just making one giant, like, double-headed axe. You could even flip this around this way to have it work both ways. Entirely up to you. Because, again, we have no official word on how these are officially supposed to combine. Yet. I'm assuming we'll get them. Also, the other modification I've seen is somebody has taken this, flipped this piece up like this, brought these around and up against the arm like this, and then folded the dragon heads up around like this. And that kind of works as like a spiky, like if you imagine that this hand is balled up in a fist, like where here's the thumb and here's kind of the spiky knuckles. It looks a little bit more proportionate. It doesn't stick out quite as far and looks like a more solid arm, although it does not have an official hand. It's hard to get him to hold something with that way. But it looks more like a curled up, spiked fist. So it's really up to you. But yeah, I think he's really fun. He's a little fiddly, but for what you get, the 5 individual guys are great by themselves. And I think the combined mode is, yeah, for what it is what it is. I really like it. It's more posable than you'd think. It's more solid than you'd think. I like the individual guys. So it's really up to you. You don't like it, I get it. But I think he's fun to carry around, especially with Predacon there commanding him. Predaking. Just as a size comparison. And here's a quick little comparison of him with the Legends Devastator. He was a little bit bigger and bulkier just because he is 7 guys as opposed to 5. So yeah. But I think I like Abominus better. He's just more, I don't know, he's cooler. So yeah, just people were asking about, can you show him off with that? Well, there you go. There he is next to Legends Devastator. So yeah, there is Blight, Rippersnapper, Windrazor, Hun-Gurrr, and Twinstrike. Cyberverse Abominus.